Welcome everyone, and to my subscribers, thank you, and to anyone who's new, who's divinely guided to this reading. I'm so glad you paid attention to your intuition. Today we're going to do a pick a card reading. Really, it's pick a pile because we're going to have 6 cards in each pile. So it's going to be pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. Uno, dos, tres. So you just want to kind of trust your intuition in this type of reading. Um, and, many times I feel like more than one reading is going to resonate with you. A lot of times when I do this type of reading, I feel like all three speak to each other. So, you know, don't worry if you have more than one number in your mind. It doesn't really matter. You'll know. You'll know. You know what I mean? You'll know. And I trust that your guides will definitely send you confirmation. And you can certainly ask your guides to send you that confirmation, whether it be through numbers, names, a flower, whatever it may be. Because I do read through my spirit guides. So, anyways, this is again pick a card. This is about love. Okay, so we're doing love. I mean, I'm not going to leave life out of it, but the main topic's going to be about love. So we're going to use 6 different cards for each pal. I'm using the Tarot of Dreams. I'm using the Light Seers Tarot. I'm using the Psychic Tarot. I'm using the Good Witch Tarot, and I'm using the newest deck that I have, which is the Tradivia Tarot, and 2 cards from that deck wanted to come out in each reading, so of course I accepted them. I did not look at the cards. I did pre-shuffle them all, just to save us some time. Otherwise, I spend 15 minutes. That's what it takes. Like, I let the cards come out by themselves. Um, so I haven't looked at them. I'll be seeing them when you see them. And I did pull a Mother Mary card, or I let a Mother Mary card, which is an oracle deck, her beautiful words of wisdom for each one also. So to take a moment, just calm your mind, take a couple deep breaths, and exhale. Exhale any worry, any need for control, and just let divine speak through the readings. All right. So we're going to go ahead and push 2 and 3 up there. And let's go ahead and put Mother Mary with them. And we are going to start with reading 1. Reading 1. I'm going to bring the lid down. And I am now officially going to open this reading. I want this to be a little bit more organized. All right, let's start with Mother Mary, though, for reading number 1. Honesty. Honesty. Yeah, it's funny. I shouldn't sing. Someone just left me a comment about, like, why do you read or sing when you clearly don't have a good singing voice? And, I agree with her. I don't have a good singing voice, but they just come out of me. Anyways, honesty. I am in touch with my true feelings regarding this situation. Okay, we'll put her right there. And let's go ahead and begin. Well, hello, soulmates, right off the bat. 2 of Cups. What I love about the soulmates is this is, how do you recognize if someone is your soulmate? I feel like look in their eyes, look in their eyes. And if they're looking right back in your eyes, someone is having a hard time looking you in your eyes, that might be a sign. But I feel like for soulmates, the eyes are what gives us that recognition of each other. What a way to open the reading right off the bat, soulmates. All right. And by the way, this is the Tarot Dreams. And then the Psychic Tarot. Oh my God. Look at this. Love Begins. I swear I did not look at any of these cards. The Soulmates. Love Begins. This is the Ace of Cups. It's really unconditional love. Um, and when I say that, I feel like what I mean by that is there's really no beginning, no end. As above, so below. We've probably loved before, especially if we're soulmates. We know each other soul to soul. But look at that. Love begins. Okay. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is about that fine art of give and take, giving and receiving equally. And I feel like, I do feel like the Six of Pentacles talks about, someone who has a very caring heart. And although not all people are going to, you know, give you what you give them, the right person will. The right person will. I feel like also in this energy, this means definitely that I feel this even if the soulmates weren't here, it does to me mean that you're moving closer to soulmate energy. And this may have been a lesson. Maybe I had to learn that I deserve to receive as much as I give. And if I'm just giving and not receiving in a relationship, that's got to tell you something, honesty. Mother Mary saying, be honest with yourself, especially if this is someone new. If you've been stuck, let's say, in a reoccurring bad dream with someone, and there doesn't seem to be any change, the change may have to come from you. Let's see what this says. Every blessing you give will eventually be returned to you. That's karma. This is good karma. Wow. Okay. Light Seers Tarot, we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles to me is really about learning, learning through my life experiences. And it's the wisdom that I gain through them. I feel like the page keeps on moving, right? Like I learn my lessons, keep on moving. Some of you could certainly talk about someone you know. Could be an earth sign, but those of you who do follow my readings, you know that I kind of leave the signs out of it because we're all a little bit of everything. But could certainly mean that. Coming right into the soulmates, we have the Four of Pentacles under Love Begins. And then last but not least, interesting, we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups. All right, I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Oh, by the way, I am going to clarify each reading. I keep wanting to say pow, but I feel like that doesn't give them the what's the word I'm looking for? Like I feel like they deserve a better name than that. But anyways, so with the Four of Pentacles under Love Begins, the Four of Cups under the Six of Pentacles. I feel like this is interesting because first and foremost, I feel like Mother Mary's words are important. Did I read what it says? I am in touch with my true feelings regarding this situation. So, some of you, I feel like this is talking about lessons that you have been learning through love. Some of you, you may again be like, the giver and not receiving what you deserve. But, don't like, I know, I'm about to say, don't feel sorry for yourself, though I know that's easier said than done. But the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like this is saying that you've been learning some lessons through love. You've probably been in some relationships where, again, you were the giver and someone wasn't giving back. Um, and, don't regret those lessons. And, especially because of what wants to open up. And I also feel, as this speaks about new love, even if it's someone of the past. Now, if it's someone of the past, if they haven't changed, right? If they're still takers, it's not that person. Because this is a soulmate. And this is love. I mean, it's clearly stating that. Four of Pentacles underneath that, to me, it feels like it's someone who is like in your neighborhood, in your town. Like I don't have to go on social media and they be in one country, I'm in another. Now, I won't leave that off the table, but I do feel that. I also feel like what it's saying is you yourself have become much more grounded and appreciate that about yourself. And then we move into the Four of Cups. Well, the Four of Cups can talk about discontentment or boredom in one's life. But really, the lesson of the Four Cups is about using your spiritual discernment because although you can't really see it in this card, you're being offered a cup. Well, here is that cup. So, if let's say that I feel like I learned the lessons of the past, but I'm just not sure. I'm not sure if I can give my heart. And then, as I say that, and I feel like a soulmate is coming into your life, I feel like even if you feel that way, I feel like this is going to change it. This is going to change your perspective. But this is about using your spiritual discernment because, again, this person is being offered a cup. And I feel like the cup is being handed to you from divine. And, that makes so much sense with the soulmates and the Ace of Cups, by the way, side by side. So, will you or won't you? The choice will be yours. Will you or won't you? And I feel like if you can just look back at like previous, let's just say love connections, um, and look at it without any judgment. Ask yourself, how have I grown? And again, I feel like good karma is coming your way. It literally says that. Good karma is coming your way. Well, it's coming in the house of love. So, these lessons you've been learning, very valuable. And again, I feel like this feels like a reward because I have learned my lessons. All right, let's take we're going to use the Gilded Tarot, and we're not going to clarify each card. I feel like that would just make the reading too long. Um, but we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to, whatever wants to come out will come out. Many of you know me, I don't put any restrictions in my readings. Whatever wants to come out, come on out. And again, don't forget to ask your guides for any signs of confirmation. Feelings, like if you get goosebumps or angel bumps, then that is a sign. All right, so I just want to go across really the whole reading. These beautiful soulmates who clearly meet, and I feel like pretty quickly fall in love. And by the way, I feel like both of the soulmates are pretty grounded at this point. So, if I'm looking back, I'm looking back to learn. All right, we have the Five of Wands. A lot of drama in the Five of Wands. So this may talk about where you've been, right? Because it is a five. And a five always asks for change. Consider change. This would definitely talk about not allowing yourself to get pulled into other people's drama. It won't serve you. Why? Because this type of energy, and some of you, you may be waiting for an apology from someone. You may not get it. But listen, I feel like be okay with that because this energy is not this energy. It's completely different. Completely different. So, some of you have made that change, right? Like you realize, okay, I've been caught in someone's web. I've been caught in their drama, pulled down into their vibration. And I'm just no longer accepting that. Doesn't even mean that you're saying, I'm looking for love. Because listen, you may not even know this is on your path yet. But this change may be the ultimate energy that eventually brings it in. I have a feeling it has to also do with the Six of Pentacles. where, I feel like a lot of you are givers. Of course, there's going to be a few takers. And you want to think about that because I feel like karma comes back to you, good or bad, right? If I'm the taker, well, chances are, I lose this relationship. The next person is going to be a taker, and then I'm going to have to suffer through that. I feel like God says, don't worry about, the people who didn't work out in your life, especially if they were full of drama. God will take care of that. You just keep moving on. Okay. So change. Strength card. To me, the strength card is about courage. It is an 8, so it is a new beginning. So interesting, change, and then immediately a new beginning. But this is really about looking within oneself. This is the ability to tame, those demons within ourselves, the shadows. We can't get rid of them. We are shadow and light. But we can certainly tame that energy. And I feel like, by overcoming a lot of, like, let's just say life's hard lessons, it really is about the energy of courage. It may be asking you to take courage as you move forward, as this starts to enter your life. Again, change, new beginning. Also the card of Leo. And let's do one more round. Anything else wants to come out? I feel like being grounded, finding a way to become grounded after what feels like a difficult time. And again, Mother Mary saying, be very honest with yourself. You know, we can certainly fall in love with someone and they not love us back. We don't want to take that personally. We may be being saved in reality from what wouldn't have been good love anyway. All right. King of Cups. Well, I have to just say that relating to love, this is the king I'd want to see. Now, I'm not talking because he's a water sign. I'm talking because the energy of the King of Cups. This is someone who, loves love. Now, if he was in reverse, I would say run, but he's not. He's in the upright. This is someone who really appreciates having that special partner. You know, um, yes, it can be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I feel like there's people out there like say the sign. But then I kind of want you to forget that because I don't want you to look for just a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. This is someone who has an open heart. And this is someone, I have a feeling some of you have dealt with someone who held back their emotions, like had a hard time um, expressing themselves. This king will let you know. Or queen. Just because it's a king, remember we're all masculine and feminine also. And then last but not least, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Some of you could be meeting someone, relating to what you do in your creative field. This is a really independent type energy. And maybe that's what I needed, right? I needed to find that independence within myself. What I feel in the 9 of Pentacles is I don't really need anyone else to take care of me financially. I can take care of myself. Doesn't mean I'm rich, but I got my own things going on. And I want to say that this makes me feel like there's been no wasted time. So between the 5 of Wands, again, all that drama, someone trying to pull you down, again, if I'm looking for an apology or someone saying you're right, I'm wrong, it probably won't happen. But truth be told, I don't feel like you need it anyways. Because I feel like, yes, they may have thrown you into like the dark night of the soul, But I feel like through the strength card, you rose. You rose. And you became independent. Doesn't mean you shut your heart down. Maybe for a little bit. In this reading, I would have your heart open. Have your heart open. And if you worry about falling in love, because I literally feel like these soulmates are going to fall in love very, very quickly. And if you worry about that, take your time. People will always reveal themselves. Someone asked me, how do you know if someone is a soulmate? I feel you feel it. But I also feel like it is like the eyes. What's that saying? The eyes are the window to the soul, something like that. It's also a card of Virgo. Just want to throw that out there. So, interesting. Soulmates, number 1. Love begins, number 2. Giving and receiving. Page of Pentacles under the soulmates. Some of you, again, you may already know who this person is. You could have gone to school with them. You could have worked with them. And when I say that, I mean it in all different ways. Like, I often picture like I'm in my work and then like the UPS driver comes in and hands me a package and we make this connection eye to eye. Well, lo and behold, that could be your soulmate. Now that's just an example. But I feel like I don't need to control this energy. I feel like it's just going to flow to me. And I feel like if, first of all, I made this change, which means I'm no longer willing to lower my vibration to be with someone, right? If you don't want to be with me, okay, then that's the truth. I'm going to stick with it and I'm going to move on. I feel like you find that courage. And I feel like then the right person enters your life. The difference between this 5 of Wands and this King of Cups is here. I don't feel like you're hearing terms of endearment. Probably quite the opposite. Probably being ripped down. They could certainly have been doing things that just don't relate to unconditional love. So, I just got to know that. I just got to realize that. And I just got to say enough is enough, right? I am not going to lower my vibration to be with you. And I feel like that's exactly what you do. So, wow. Number 1, soulmates, love begins. The 4 of Pentacles, again, I feel like it means that, first of all, it means that these 2 soulmates are grounded. Not perfect, but grounded. Let's put it this way. I know what I want, and I now know what I don't want because of that 5 of Wands. If nothing else, that's the lesson you've learned. I now know what I do not want in love. But I feel like you took the time to reflect, to become stronger within yourself. Some of you created businesses. You created your own wealth. So it's like I can stand on my own 2 feet. 4 cups. Use your spiritual discernment. Literally, it is about a cup coming in. Well, here is that cup. So trust your spiritual discernment. Trust your spirit guides. If it's not meant to be, you'll know very quickly. Right? Have your spiritual ears and eyes wide open, and you'll know quickly. But this is literally telling you that a soulmate is on your journey and that it is coming in. And I love how the cup is pouring its loving waters down into the 4 of Pentacles. So it's like grounded love. Wow. Okay, I accept that. What a way to start. What a way to start. All right, let's pick this up. Thank Mother Mary. Okay, now we're going into reading number two. I don't know how it's going to beat reading number one, but yeah, I never know. All right, well, let's start with Mother Mary. Health, health. My prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered. Now, because this is relating to love, now, it can be anything, but because it's relating to love, I feel like it's really like overcoming a broken heart, overcoming the past. If I've been feeling a lot of anxiousness and even loneliness, I feel like Mother Mary is trying to help you to overcome that. My prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered. All right. Seven of Pentacles. Emotional withdrawal. That's the Eight of Cups. King of Wands. Look how he's standing at that door with his flame lit. He's on the phone talking to someone. It literally makes me feel every time I see this image like someone's flame is already lit. Maybe it's just yet to come in yet. Some of you could signify that you may be contacted over the phone. What is that called? A Dutch door? And I find it interesting because the top door is open and the bottom is not. So, I may not be all in, but at the same time, I feel like this is also talking about someone that you're going to have great communication with, and it may be over the phone. Like, because I do feel like you're going to meet, and when you meet, that's what I feel. It reminds me of Sam and I, I mean, we already knew each other, but we were separated 40 years. I mean, we were just young lovers. Um, but then we spent 5 years just talking on the phone night and day, whenever we could. And I'm kind of feeling that with this. I'm going to get all the cards out, then we'll go back. We have the Nine of Wands, reflection. We have the Emperor, card of Aries. Could definitely be this king or queen. Huh. Temperance, divine timing. Sometimes things are pushed out of our lives and we don't understand it at the time. Like, how did I lose this? Why didn't this go right? But it's because divine has a much better plan in store for you. Temperance talks about patience first, but then also trusting in divine timing. Temperance wants you to try to let go of control. And that may be what health is talking about. If I'm trying to control something you know, too much, it could definitely cause me anxiety. I feel like when temperance shows up in a love reading, there is nothing I need to worry about. Everything happens in divine timing. Coming under the king. So, let's go back for a second. So, in the Seven of Pentacles, again, this is an energy of patience. Two cards that speak of patience. But here's the thing. I feel like the Seven of Pentacles is like the apple tree. And really what it signifies is, I don't want to pick this apple until it's ripe. Otherwise, it's going to be bitter, right? I don't want a bitter apple. I want a ripe, fresh apple. I also feel the Seven of Pentacles is energy that is meant to be. And what I mean by that is I feel like some of these seeds that are on the tree are your soul's seeds of intention. Some of them were planted before you even came into this lifetime, but you were born with amnesia. So the adventure for the souls is, can we find each other? Can we find each other? I feel like the answer is yes. And then we have emotional withdrawal. However, I just want you to look at the image here. Again, it's a number 8. You know, 7 is a very spiritual number. Well, we have divine right here. So it's almost like trusting in divine. 8, I again a new beginning. But what I love about this image is this person's sitting at the water's edge, and they have their hands in a prayerful motion, and it's like they're allowing the tides to take their worries away. I'm not going to get lost in it, right? It is about like looking with that in that emotional house and finding the clarity you need. Again, every cup that's knocked over, we don't have to reflect upon them all. Just the ones that are really like you're stuck on. Sometimes things don't go right because there's a better plan waiting to happen. A new beginning. Just awaiting. Just awaiting. And the 9 of Wands. Well, this is about reflecting back. But this is reflecting back and really understanding how much you have grown because of those experiences. There's no judgment here. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I got a knock at the door. It's funny. Speaking of Sam, and many of you know our situation, again, reconnected 40 years after the fact. And I do live with him now. It's funny because I always say when the door is closed to the office, it means I'm in a reading. And he always seems to knock at that time, but that's okay. So anyways, the 9 of Wands, it's really, I feel like this person becomes a spirit warrior. Look how she's busting out of her clothes. She's busting out of her clothes because she's gained so much spiritual wisdom, spiritual muscles. This to me feels like I'm ready for something new, and I feel like, again, looking back, I don't have regret. I'm not going to allow regret to play a part in my life anymore. I feel like it's about being in the present moment. And listen, maybe that's what divine timing is waiting for. That final reflection. 9 is always about reflection, but the final reflection. I shouldn't say always, but many times. Under the 7 of Pentacles, this person looks like they're about to start a new journey. And I feel like this reading is talking about a journey. Again, it's like the soulmates who already planted seeds before they came into this lifetime. But maybe there was a lot that each of us wanted to learn outside of each other. And then what beautiful mirrors we become to each other. Like, be proud of yourself. Don't live in regret. Be willing to take some adventures. I feel like you're ready. And I feel like what this is saying is these seeds are coming to fruition. And I do feel like you are now ready. And that also would signify the 8 of Cups. Again, emotional withdrawal is what it says, but I feel like it's emotional release. And then we have the Emperor. Dun, 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 dun. So, again, card of Aries, but forget about that unless it is going to be an Aries for you. Um, I feel like this is talking about the type of person. The Emperor is someone normally we can look up to. Now, he's in the upright. That's why I'm saying normally. If he's in reverse, then no, I wouldn't be looking up to him. This is someone who is methodical, probably likes to put plans in place. You may be the opposite of that, but again, this because I feel like many times we reflect each other and we learn from each other. This is someone who does care about their fellow man. So I feel like if someone would come in and it's all about them, that's your sign that this is not the right person. Because I feel like, like I'm getting this image in my head, like like this person asked me on a date and I accept the date. And so we go out and have dinner. And I notice the way this person talks to, the waiter or the waitress. And it's kind and it's considerate and it's, compassion. They leave a large tip because they know how hard the waiter or the waitress has worked, right? But makes very little money. This is the type of person I feel like is coming into your life. And I feel like because in this reading, it feels like there has been a lot of emotional work done, a lot of reflection on my past, but just to the point where now I know, right? Again, sometimes we literally just need to know what we don't want. Sometimes that's just the lesson. But I feel like this person is very stable, very creative, also very methodical, though. Sitting right next to Temperance is a card of Sagittarius, but it literally talks about divine timing. And Temperance asks us to let go of control over the things we just have no control over. Don't worry about them. Again, it brings me back to health. Like if I'm constantly in a state of worry, I'm probably having sleepless nights. It can turn into depression. It doesn't need to, though, because I feel like if I, again, understand like how I have grown and even believing in miracles, believing in divine, right? Because this tree of life, I feel like for many of you, these seeds have already been planted and you're about to go on this adventure. And I feel like it's just as it was meant to be. Temperance may be saying, I just needed you to do this emotional work, and to me, that means that, again, you're able to open your heart. And again, if you have fear, take it slow. And that may be why I just said about the story about going out into a restaurant. Like, I pay attention to how someone else treats other people. If this person's rude, leaves no tip, well, they're not my person. But I don't feel that here. I also feel some of you are going to meet, and I do feel like there's going to be long conversations. And I feel like through those conversations, you're going to talk about your past. You're going to help each other heal. You're going to fall in love. Definitely feel like you're going to fall in love. And I feel like it is divine timing. Okay, let's go ahead and take the Gilded Tarot over. By the way, 7, 8, 9, all in a row, all connected. To me, that's progression. Like I'm progressing in my life. All right, we got a few, but we're going to take them. Well, hello, Empress to the Emperor. I mean, like minded energy? Yes. The Empress is someone who has learned how to keep her heart open. She understands that the past was really just the lessons, remembering that Earth is a classroom. But she's also very powerful. She's very strong within herself. She's nobody's fool. She's very creative. And I love when the Emperor and the Empress come out in the same love reading. To me, it's the same as the Soulmates coming out. Some of you, this is the journey that you've been on. This may be what Temperance is talking about, right? Like, we just needed you to realize that you already had the Empress's energy within you. This Empress doesn't look back with regret. She looks back and understands how much she has grown, right? And her heart is still open to love, but also to compassion. All right, let's see what else we have. Six of Wands, victory. Victory. And this is an energy where other people are really taking notice of you. And it's because of the actions that you have taken. It can come through words, yes, but it's like being admired because of the actions that you've taken. We have the Page of Swords. It's almost like the communication's already in the works. It's already in the atmosphere. And yes, I'm not going to leave out that it could be someone that, someone from your younger years. Page to me does represent younger years, but it also represents what's in the atmosphere. Someone may had been on a journey about learning, how to be truthful, how to speak, lovingly. We have the Seven of Swords. Okay. Untrustworthy energy. Why? We have the Queen of Swords. And then, okay, I get it. We have the Two of Swords. So I feel like this is taking us back for a moment. I feel like this Queen of Swords, she's found her voice. I feel like she's dealt with someone who was untrustworthy. And certainly, I don't want to go back to that type of energy. Now, can people evolve? Of course they can. But, the person in the Seven of Swords, I'm not so sure. I often feels like a narcissistic type of energy. I do not feel like it's what divine is bringing into you. Because again, the Empress tells me that I've already learned the lessons, or I am learning the lessons of the past. And it's interesting because I do feel like the Queen of Swords, it's almost like she's using her sword on the Seven of Swords. Like, let's say there could be two people coming, right? Maybe someone that I've been with that was untrustworthy, that was a liar. And I definitely feel the Seven of Swords energy. I feel like they are, it's someone who lied a lot. Um, And sometimes they do make repeat appearances, you know what I mean? Especially if it was like a narcissistic type energy. It's like, I'm not going to show you the type of love you deserve, but I'll be damned if I want anybody else to. And that's why I feel like the Queen of Swords has her sword raised. Like, I'm cutting those ties. I'm cutting those ties. If I've been hoping and waiting that someone was going to change, I don't feel like if it's in that Seven of Swords, it's not them. I just don't feel like there's going to be change there. And I feel like that's why the Queen of Swords is like reclaiming her voice, reclaiming her truth. Now, it is followed by the Two of Swords. So, Two Swords just means that there may be something I don't want to face. And maybe I didn't want to face someone of my past again because there is emotional withdrawal here. Maybe I didn't want to face that, they just weren't my person. They're just never going to tell me the truth. I feel like I can't trust them. And maybe I don't even have evidence, but I feel it. I feel like that's your evidence. Trust what you feel. It is hard to let go of people sometimes. But with, again, temperance here, I feel like you have divine help here. It's almost like temperance is saying, let us help you. Let us help guide you. Take off the blindfold. Open your eyes. Be in the present moment. And allow yourself to be surprised by these new beginnings, by this event, by the adventures that you have yet to have. Another reading where I feel like maybe the past didn't serve me, but maybe it did in a way. Because again, I know I don't want that back. And the two swords mirroring the Empress, I feel like what that means is many of you have moved beyond that, or you're in the works of moving beyond that. Because the Empress and the two swords to me just don't go together, right? And maybe it is taking off that blindfold where then I'm in my Empress's energy. Again, we have the Emperor and the Empress together in the same reading. That's divine to me. It is. It's just divine. I feel like I want to look at the Emperor a little deeper. By the way, the Empress and the Emperor, I feel like when they come together, when they allow themselves to begin this new adventure, and some of you may have had like this longing in your heart that really nobody could feel. And you may have thought to yourself, like, why do I never feel completely and totally in love? Well, maybe the right person just hasn't come along yet. Maybe what you were learning is really how to love and also what not to love. But anyways, I was gonna say, I feel like when they come together, not just do I feel the love is beautiful, I feel like they get each other. I feel like they could be great in business together. All right, the High Priestess, your intuition. It's a two. So to me, it's talking to the Two of Swords. How do I know, Sandy? How do I know? Trust your intuition. When you see temperance in a reading, that means that the signs will be sent your way. Take off the blindfolds. Be completely truthful and honest with yourself. You don't have to say yes. I never feel like you have to say yes. But sometimes I feel like I don't know how you're going to say no. Well, I know how you would say no. I feel like that would mean that the blindfold hasn't come off. To me, the Emperor and the Empress are each other's soulmates. And I feel like that would be pretty clear. But if I have doubt, I feel like put your toes in the water, go out on a date, don't judge, but just watch, listen, see how they treat people. That's how they'll treat you. I don't feel like temperance would come out if this was not meant to be. And again, I feel like karma, there's good karma and there's bad karma. I feel like this energy, this is you moving towards good karma. And I feel like the one or the ones who have treated you badly, first of all, they may have just been immature, but it's not your job to teach them how to love. And that's something we've got to realize. Like, it's not my job to make you a better person. There's nothing wrong with trying to help. But if it's not being received, well, there's your answer. Divine's like, we'll take care of that. Trust your intuition. The signs will be sent to you. And again, that Seven of Pentacles, I feel like those seeds have already been planted. Now it's about divine timing. All in divine timing. It may have taken a while. But listen, sometimes the divine is also waiting on us. Like, we're ready when you're ready. And I feel like divine timing means the right time. So I feel like it doesn't mean, like, again, that I'm in perfect energy because none of us are perfect. But I've looked within that emotional house. I found emotional clarity. Those who didn't treat me right, I'm not taking it like, on a personal level anymore. Because I have a feeling this type of person, the next person they're with, they're going to do the same thing to, and the next person. And then I feel like eventually someone's going to do it to them. That's karma, whether it be this lifetime or the next. Trust your intuition here. It's all happening in divine timing. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to let this one be. Let's pick them up. Intuition. All right, let's go into reading number 3. By the way, I will have these time stamped. Though I want to say, if you feel called to more than one reading, just know that there's probably different signs in each reading for you. Start with Mother Mary. Father. Father. My true Father is God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and our relationship. When I get this card, I often feel that, if my father was someone, I'll just explain it to you how I feel about my father. When I was young, he was my hero. Um, but him and my mother used to get into horrible fights. And I remember as kids, we would just sit there and cry and cry. And then one day he did leave. And I remember being in my 20s and he came to me and he said, I should have never left you kids. And I said, no, Dad, you did the perfect thing because really it was hurting us so much, us kids. And the thing that I loved my father, and my father's crossed over now. And by the way, for some of you, your father may be your guide. Probably is your guide. But what I was going to say is that sometimes if we don't really understand that energy or clear that energy, many of us end up with someone just like that. I know I did. You know, I want to say my first marriage, but I've only been married once. But I was young, and he did the same thing. Like he cheated all the time, just like my dad did. You know what I mean? Like I've forgiven my dad. I've forgiven everyone. I'm not holding on to other people's, lower vibrational energy. I have forgiven. And I even understand, but I do want to say that sometimes that's what this can mean. Like, hmm, how did I end up with my dear old dad? You know? Okay. But I do feel like for some of you, this is talking about your father is, if he's crossed over, is now one of your really important guides. Well, maybe in love. All right. 6 of Wands, victory, material and financial changes. A number 5, 6 and a 5 together, and 11. Sometimes that can represent a twin flame. Toxic witches. 3, but it says, be cautious of those who take more than they give. Be cautious of those who take more than they give. Sitting right next to a 5, right next to financial and material changes. Some of you could have certainly gone through a breakup. And listen, Maybe you didn't receive all the financial blessings you felt like you should have, or your material items. But I feel like what happens in this energy is those material things, they'll be replaced, right? Your sanity is more important. I feel like this is also saying that you have become victorious over this energy. You've grown. Like, I know who I need. I know who's toxic now. All right. Nine of Pentacles again. The Hermit. Interesting. Two Virgo cards side by side. And then the beautiful Sun. Ruler of Leo. But when the Sun comes out in a love reading, I feel like there's nothing to fear because everything will be illuminated. There's nowhere for the shadows to hide when the sun is out. Just keep your eyes open. I feel like some of you in this reading, I feel like you may speak about your experiences, the lessons that you have learned. The hermit to me is someone who probably has gone through the dark night of the soul, seeking that light. And I feel like what the hermit really finds out in that energy is I am the light. I am my own light. I am my own savior. Not that divine isn't helping, but it's really finding this sense, well, of independence within oneself. So I feel like some of you, you're probably always a healer, but you may have like a spiritual based business. So I feel like if I had to leave someone, if there was a separation, because five, again, change, maybe I did lose material things. Maybe I lost financial things. But listen, that Nine of Pentacles tells you that you will have success. As long as you're willing to put your focus there, you will be successful. And it's literally showing you being victorious. And I feel like this is, again, speaking of your experiences and others relating, like your experiences helping others to find their way. Well, there's got to be good rewards for that also. The sun. The sun to me is like, it's a brand new day. It is a very playful type energy. I have a feeling these lovers, they're going to laugh a lot. They're going to have a lot of fun together. Not that the others won't also, but I feel like this is really speaking of that. You know, that fun, that laughter, the joy that we can bring each other. Again, I don't have to worry about the shadows. I don't have to worry about the toxicity because the sun would reveal it right away. And for those who maybe you were in a marriage, and again, maybe you did lose, some finances or material things, the Nine of Pentacles says it'll be replaced, but it's you that's doing it, right? In the Nine of Pentacles, who benefits from this hard work? You do. You do. And look what she's doing. She's picking one of those seeds. It's almost like she's telling the universe, I'm ready. I'm ready. This speaks of successful self employment, independence, feeling strong on your own 2 feet. But literally, I feel like some of you, this is now what you do for a living. You're helping people. And I feel like it is because of the Hermit's energy. I probably did have to travel through the dark night of the soul. But listen, now I've come out the other end. And, well, you can kind of see it in this card. But really, the Hermit now has emerged from that cave. To me, means I've come out of that dark night of the soul, or at least I'm starting to come out. And the Hermit is shining the beacon of light for others. Really, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's illuminating the snake. So, if there's any snakes in the grass, good luck getting by the hermit. Good luck. Good luck. Okay, let's go ahead and take some cards over this. By the way, I just realized it was my birthday, 9/13. Well, hello, sun again. Probably mirroring energy. This tells me probably both lovers have clarity within their life, like both feel free, or you will be. Not only free, but loving it, like loving my life again. Double Leo on the board. Hello, Ten of Pentacles. Interesting because it's coming right over the Five of Pentacles. So, again, what I have lost, will I recoup it? Tenfold. Tenfold. The King of Pentacles can be a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. I can't leave Virgo off the board because we have double Virgo. But again, I don't want you just to look for that. And then Justice. So some of you have cut ties with someone. But you know what cutting those ties have done for you? It's rebalanced yourself. It's like balance within your life now. When justice comes out in a love reading, though it can speak of divorce, cutting of ties, it's really what's fair and just to you. That's what justice is concerned about. It's about making you whole again after the fact. And it is because of the actions you've taken, right? You were bold enough to cut those ties to whatever's not serving you. Lower vibration. Anyone who's likes to play in the dark. I feel like, well, you don't. You want to play in the sun. I love that you got the Ten of Pentacles over the Five of Pentacles. That is the house of abundance. That is a house that takes root. I feel like when I say it takes root, chances are, well, I feel a couple different things, but the first thing I want to say is I definitely feel like it's meant to be. And I feel like both people come to the table, um, you know, financially okay. Again, I'm not going to say rich, but financially okay. Like each can take care of themselves financially. But I also feel in the Ten of Pentacles, many times I feel this where it talks about a love story that doesn't die when you leave this earth. And what I mean by that is I feel like, your children, your great grandchildren, and so on and so forth, like that love story will continue on. You will continue on. In the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles is someone, when they look at their life, or they look at life in general, they look at the big picture. You know what I mean? Like they don't try to dissect everything. They just look at it from the big picture. And the King is coming right over the sun. Oh, my screen got so dark. This King is coming over the sun. So that to me, that means in the light. You cut ties. You let go of whatever you needed to let go of. And again, material things, they can be replaced. I know that for a fact also. The wisdom you've gained, the independence that you have gained, and now it's like the sun is in your favor. The sun is shining. And I don't feel like anything can stop that. All right. I just want to, I don't know why. I feel like I just want to go one more round here. We have the Eight of Pentacles. Hmm. We have a lot of pentacles here. So for some of you, this can relate to someone that, you don't have to work with, but maybe, again, you meet through that. You could be meeting through your creative house. Again, the Six of Wands, it is you taking center stage. It is other people paying attention to you because of the actions you've taken. It is you saying, I now feel independent within myself. Like the sun is illuminating that for you. Eight of Pentacles, it answers a question. Can I be successful? In what? Well, in your pentacles, but really in all areas in life. And it says if you put your focus upon it, yes, it will only grow and grow and grow. And by the way, the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, boy, there's no power left to this Five of Pentacles up here. And then the Eight of Wands, positive movement forward, fast moving energy. Also, I feel like what I think about, I bring about. To me, that's the law of attraction. I got to think about what vibrations am I sending out to the universe? Because that's what must be met. The universe is not going to decipher whether you meant to send that out or not. So be cautious of that. And not to a point where like you have to think about every thought. But if you put positive intentions out there, I'm telling you, they will come back to you. They will come back to you. It's like you're bringing the sun to you and this other person. I definitely feel like, you did have to deal with something difficult here. Whether someone gave you a tower or you gave them the tower, I feel like it was time, right? It was just time. And again, not all love is meant to last a lifetime, but some love is. And sometimes literally we have to learn about love, right? We got to be willing to focus on love. We got to be willing to know that we have to put effort into love. But both people do. Both people do. I also love that the Nine of Pentacles went to the Ten of Pentacles. So, Nine of Pentacles, singular, Ten of Pentacles, you're not alone. This is two people who are willing, and by the way, two eights, two suns, two Virgos. So, again, doesn't have to be a Virgo. Could just simply talk about someone who just feels grounded. Justice is the card of Libra, by the way. I should say that. Um, but these two eights, it is like you're mirroring each other. Like two people having a new beginning. Two people who have found their footing in life. And now two people who have the sun shining for them. Playfulness, joy, laughter. It's a brand new day. And it's positive. And if you question, again, can I truly be successful? Can we really, truly make this love work? Sweetie, you put your focus on it, and I promise you, it's going to grow. It already has. It's already showing us that. Wow. You know, this is definitely not one of my most popular readings, but I have to say it's one of my favorite readings to do. Um, because I feel like I can reach, I can give a lot of messages within one reading when I do this. And again, I have a feeling more than one reading is going to resonate with you, and that's perfectly fine. It could be a progression. You know what I mean? Beautiful. And I feel like I just want to look at the bottom of the deck. Look at that, the Eight of Cups. Another eight, by the way. Emotional clarity. This person's walking away from these cups that have been knocked over. They're heading towards the Nine of Cups, inner harmony, fulfillment of wishes. I'm not even asking for a wish to be fulfilled here. It's just going to happen. But this emotional clarity, it's important, right? Because again, certain cups are knocked over and we may blame ourselves. Like, oh, I'm not lovable. That's not true. That's just not true. Because to the right person, oh my gosh, are you lovable? And vice versa. New beginning, as above, so below. No beginning, no end. I have a feeling you've loved before. Maybe not in this lifetime, but definitely in previous lifetimes and probably in future lifetimes. You know, it tells me this is also soulmate energy. And by the way, in my love readings, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I am looking for soulmate type energy, not type energy. I'm looking for soulmate energy. I don't want lower vibrational energy for you. Only the best will do. But remember, nobody's perfect, even us. Sometimes we come pretty damn close. Nothing to fear when the sun is out. Shadows cannot hide when the sun is out. Allowing oneself to have these new beginnings and to enjoy them, even if it's step by step by step. Wow. All right, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I definitely cannot wait to hear your comments and see, which reading you resonate with. Let me know if you resonate with more than one. I feel like, and I know this to be a fact, that many times if you've been, let's just say, through the dark night of the soul, and you share how you found your way out, sometimes you're saving someone else's life without even knowing it. Do we not have the hermit here? Yes. The hermit knows that. The hermit shines as beacon of light without expectation, just who I've become. It's just who I am. So I thank you guys. I certainly love you guys. And I feel like we're all one big soul family. So anyone new to the reading, welcome to our soul family. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.